Okay, now see. Container orchestration is performing the following actions on the containers. And still know the containers we are creating manually, right? In place of that, creating the manually means deploying nothing more. We are going to create. Creating means we are going to deploy the containers. That deployment will be happen automatically by the Kubernetes. First thing is container orchestration means by performing all these actions of the containers is known as container orchestration. To perform this container orchestration on container orchestrated tool we are going to use, that is Kubernetes. Okay, what Kubernetes will do? Some actions on the container. What are those actions? Simple. First thing, deployment. Kubernetes, for Kubernetes, some inputs we should give as a DevOps engineer. For Kubernetes, some inputs we should give for DevOps engineering. Kubernetes is one tool, one software we are going to install in the infrastructure. In which after installing the Kubernetes tool in the infrastructure, okay, where we are going to install like containers, we are going to create, till now we create containers in a machine, on system, that is infrastructure. We are creating manual. Generally, we are using some commands, we are creating manual. Instead of that, those containers is going to be create or run, whatever it means. That is, we can call it the deployment. Deploying the containers in the infrastructure, is creating or running the containers, will be done automatically by Kubernetes only. But for Kubernetes, you want to give that input. Okay, create this container. Like some inputs we are going to give to the Kubernetes in the form of some code. Some code we are going to give to the Kubernetes, that is manifest file we can. That we'll see one by one everything. But first, I'm introducing Kubernetes. Try to understand this. Then easily you can work with Kubernetes. For Kubernetes, some inputs you want to give. Depends on the inputs we are giving, all these actions is going to be performed. That means see. It seems like it is a Kubernetes tool. And it is infrastructure. Infrastructure means here we have some machines. For machines. Like for example, I can say system 1, system 2, 3. Assume like I have one infrastructure. In this infrastructure, we are going to install Kubernetes. This Kubernetes tool we are going to install in this infrastructure. Internally, in any one, I'll show you in this infrastructure, in any one system, we should install Kubernetes. To this Kubernetes, we are going to give input. We are going to give input. Okay, input as a DevOps, we are going to give input. It depends on input given to the Kubernetes. What Kubernetes will perform? Container orchestration. Kubernetes will perform container orchestration. Container orchestration means what I said here, the points. Kubernetes will perform deployment. Deployment depends on the input we are giving to the Kubernetes. Means what containers you want to deploy. How many containers, what type of container, everything we are going to Kubernetes. Now, Kubernetes automatically will deploy those containers in this infrastructure. In this infrastructure, it is going to be deploy the containers. Means Kubernetes, when we install into the infrastructure, Kubernetes will control all the systems as a single unit. Kubernetes will command all the systems as a single unit. How means? Here. Once you install Kubernetes in the infrastructure, okay, all the systems is going to be controlled under Kubernetes tool, okay, by establishing one concept known as cluster. All these systems that we are going to join under Kubernetes cluster, concept known as cluster. Yes, Kubernetes we should install into one machine. See here, in this entire cluster Kubernetes you want to install in one machine. The remaining machines you want to add to that machine. That I'll show you. First, the concept you want to understand. What is this cluster? Now see here. This Kubernetes tool you want to install into any one machine, and the remaining machine you want to add to that main machine, in which all these machines will be under one environment of Kubernetes known as cluster. Kubernetes cluster. Now, whatever the input we are giving to the Kubernetes, Kubernetes will perform orchestration for the container in this cluster only, under this cluster. In infrastructure, number of machines we have. Some specific machines we are going to combine into one Kubernetes cluster. Cluster means one group, nothing more. This complete thing is one group that is controlled under Kubernetes tool. This Kubernetes tool we should install into any one machine. That machine is known as master node. The technical words I'll tell you later. A Kubernetes which we install into one machine known as master node, and the remaining systems in that cluster, remaining systems in that cluster is known worker nodes. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you later. In this cluster nothing but grouping some machines as one under one specific tool known as cluster. Okay, under Kubernetes, some systems we are going to combine as one cluster. It's by using Kubernetes we can create one cluster. Cluster means some group we can create. Now use this cluster. This Kubernetes will be under this cluster only. This tool will be installed in this cluster into one machine. The remaining machines we can add to that main Kubernetes system, in which all the system will combine as one group known as cluster. Okay, cluster. Complete cluster will be controlled by Kubernetes tool only, in which Kubernetes we are going to install inside the cluster only. Just for diagrammatic purpose, I'm showing like this. Now, entire cluster means some group of machines will be controlled by Kubernetes tool for performing container orchestration. What is container orchestration? To perform these actions. Deployment first. What deployment this Kubernetes will do? It is going to be create the container or run the container. Where it is going to be run the containers? Inside this cluster on any one machine. Cluster meaning grouping the all machines as single machine. Simply cluster meaning grouping the multiple machines as single machine or single group. Now when I give input to deploy one container in this cluster, Kubernetes will take the input and it is going to be deploy one container in this cluster on any one machine. We don't know that. Cluster meaning grouping all the resources for high performance. Grouping all resources for high performance. Now, when I try to give input to the Kubernetes, please deploy containers. A Kubernetes will deploy any container like Ubuntu, Jenkins, Docker, what we saw into this cluster only. It will deploy. Deploy means it will create and run the container. Now container will run here inside the cluster. That is known as deployment. Deployment nothing but installing or creating or running the containers in the system. System nothing but inside one Kubernetes cluster. Cluster nothing but group of machines. In these machines only your Kubernetes will perform orchestration. Orchestration meaning deployment. Like first deployment. Okay, what is deployment? It is going to be deploy the containers inside the systems of cluster. First thing. Next thing, scaling. Scaling means, already we know this point, scaling nothing but increasing the containers, increasing the instances. Scaling is increasing the containers or instances. Depends on requirement. See here, assume like One second. First it's- Here, assume like containers. One container is running. Container nothing but one application, right? In which on this container, number of requests, it is one web application. Assume like it is one web application. It is one container. Container running in the cluster. It is one cluster. Already I said what is cluster. It is one cluster. Kubernetes cluster. Same diagram what I showed. I am elaborating that. Previous diagram what I showed. In this cluster, one container running, one application. Container means already we know inside that one application will be there. This application is accessing by some multiple people. This application accessing by multiple people. Assume like till 100 people. 1 to 100 people is going to be access the container. Container is one application. But some more traffic. This is not as traffic. Requests. These are the requests. Requests coming for this web application. But more requests are coming to the same application, in which the application can't access or can't take more number of requests, in which the container will be down, or the application can't take multiple requests, because it depends on the capacity only it will take the request. Assume like one application capacity is 100 requests, one web application capacity 100 requests it will take, but more than 100 requests are coming to this application inside the container one application. More than 100 requests are coming here. What happened now? That application can't serve all the requests, in which the application will be down, because more number of requests are coming. Okay, depends. More number of requests means the capacity 100 requests, more than 100 requests coming, in which that application can't serve the request. In that case, what we should do? Same application. Assume like it is one application like application one. Assume I'm taking the name is application. Application one capacity is 100 requests to be served, but more than 100 requests are coming now in peak level. In peak level, more than 100 requests are coming. I think like if you observe IRCTC website that is running in production, assume like it is running as a container. Inside the container, IRCTC website is there. Generally, in IRCTC website in peak level, like in festivals in Indian Railways, okay, number of requests or hitting to that website to reserve their tickets. That is not a request, I'm saying. For any web application, depends on the requirement at peak level. More number of requests are coming. The requests I'm calling it traffic. More number of requests are coming, in which if all the requests are not handled by the application will be down. That's why that same concept I'm showing here. It is application one is like your IRCTC. At peak level, okay, depends on the capacity, means other than the capacity, more number of requests, more than the capacity, the requests are coming. Then what happens? That application can't serve all the requests, in which slow. It will be slow, it will be down, like IRCTC website. In this case, the more traffic want to be handled by the same application, you should scale up the applications. Scale up the container or instances. Scale up nothing but increasing the containers or instances. For what purpose? To handle high traffic. in specific cases. Now in this case, okay, I want more number of requests are coming. Now some more instances, nothing but same application I want to increase as one more instance. One more container I want to create. I have to scale up. Scaling means increasing the containers to handle the traffic. One more container created with the same application. Application is same here, but one more instance created or one more container created. Same application, but another container. Now the remaining traffic. The remaining traffic means other than 100 requests, more than 100 requests is going to be diverted to another instance of same application. Is diverted to another instance of same application to this. Assume like some more 100 requests. Here it is 101, 102 till assume like 200. Now see here, same application is going to be handled 200 requests, but not a single instance. Here I am using two instances of same application. This is not scaling the application. Scaling nothing but scaling means to give high performance. The point here, scaling nothing but one more point I give, scalability or scaling, both are same. Scalability or high performance. Scaling means increasing the containers or it depends on the requirement. Why? To give high performance. Because of increasing the application instances, what happened? 100 requests are sending to one instance of same application, another 100 requests going to another instance of same application. Now, same application running in two containers. That means one application, one container handling 100 requests, another can handle 100 requests. This capacity 100, it will serve the request in high performance. This will serve the request high performance. Means without giving burden on the single container or without giving burden on the application, I am increasing the application instances in which the request also is going to be divided or diverted to multiple instances same application, in which we are getting same application one only, but multiple instances are running in which multiple requests to be handled to give high performance. In real-time scenario, it will be like this one. Any website what we are accessing is not running as a single instance. It is running as hundreds of instances in which all the requests we are sending is internally load balancing. Means 100 requests will goes to this container and the request will goes to this same application. This will be load balance. This is on load balance. Load balance means diverting the traffic to specific container depends on the capacity. In which to do this, you want to scale these application containers. But how to scale? When it should be scaled? When there is high traffic. When there is high traffic, you should scale that. Scale up. It is not scale up. Increasing the instance means scale up. When there is low traffic, is it require more instance? No, you want to scale down. You want to decrease the instance of the container same application. This will happen automatically by the Kubernetes. If there is no Kubernetes using in your infrastructure, if you directly install containers, just till now as to till here, what the container we use, if you create the containers directly manually, what happens when there is high traffic? It cannot increase instantly. You should increase manually. When we should increase when there is high traffic. When there is high traffic, you want to monitor that. You want to increase. You want to increase, it is time taken. In this time taken, what happens? The request will not serve to the client. Manual process is not possible here to increase the container. Everything should happen automatically. That is known as orchestration, scaling up, scaling down. When you should scale up when there is high traffic. Who will scale up? Kubernetes. How? It will check the traffic coming to the container. It will monitor complete thing. How much traffic going to one container? Okay, is it acceptable? No. Immediately it will increase one more container. Like that, everything will be automatic once you install Kubernetes in a your infrastructure cluster. Now, whatever the containers you created in that cluster, whatever the containers you created in that cluster is going to be handled by Kubernetes. When there is high traffic, it is scale up. When there is low traffic, it is scale down. Like that, everything will be happen automatically by Kubernetes. That is scaling. Very. Scaling means scale up or scale down when it is required. When there is high traffic, scale up the application instance, and when there is low traffic, scale down the application instance. This will be happen by the Kubernetes. That is container orchestration. That is known as container orchestration. All the action performing by the Kubernetes is known as orchestration. Like this type of tool is known as container orchestration tool. Like this in the same way. See. Means whatever the containers we have deployed in this infrastructure cluster of Kubernetes will be handled by Kubernetes. Every action will be done by Kubernetes. Once you deploy a containers into the Kubernetes cluster, that Kubernetes will scale up your containers when required, scale down when it is not required. And it is going to be monitored. Monitoring already is monitoring means is there any problem we have with the containers? How much traffic going to the containers to increase everything monitoring we'll see later. Monitor means what happens on the cluster for the containers will be monitored by the Kubernetes. Depends on that only scaling will happen. And also high availability or no downtime. High availability means see, for example, any one instance for example, here multiple containers are running, right? If any one container is down, assume like one container is down. Down means it is not running. Some problem occurs in the container, it is not running. If it is not runs, what Kubernetes will do means immediately it will create one more container. See here. Container, I'm saying that maintaining desired state. Desired state means how many containers should run in my Kubernetes cluster is known as desired state. How many containers I want to run? For example, I want to run 2 containers. Assume that desired state is 2 containers. Now, in this case, okay, this desired state, everything we are going to give as an input only. Whatever you want in the cluster to be run, okay, Kubernetes will not do directly. Depends on the input we are giving only, it will do. Depends on the input we are giving only, it will do that. Now my desired state, how many containers I should run in my Kubernetes cluster, in my infrastructure? I want to run, my requirement is I want to run 2 containers. My desired state is 2 containers. In this case, okay, 2 containers running, everything is okay. But if one container is down, means container not running with some problem internally, whatever it may be, whatever the problem it may be, one container not running. Now, how many containers running? 1 container running. So what happens means, what is the desired state I gave here? The desired state I gave here is 2, but only 1 container running currently. Now immediately Kubernetes will identify that the desired state is 2, but only 1 container running. Okay, immediately it will create one more container automatically, in which the container is no downtime, has no downtime. The desired state is 2. 1 container is not running. Immediately, it is going to create one more container instead of that not running container. It will get one more container. Now, it will make a desired state. Now, what happened? High availability happens. High availability means here, if this container not runs, what happens? These 100 requests cannot be served. If it not serve means the application, as end user, I can't access the application. This is downtime. The name is downtime. If you're not access any website from the server, what it is known as downtime. Sometimes you can see if you try to access any website, no site available or the site can't be reached. Is known as downtime. Why? Because their application not running. Assume like there is a containerized application. If it not runs, you can't access that as end user. That is known as downtime. Why? Because the container stopped because of some reason. In which the desired state here is 2 to serve 200 requests. If one container not runs, what happens? 100 requests can't serve. That is downtime. For this 100 requests, for this 100 users, they will not get the application. But for this 100 application, we get. For this 100 users, application can't access. That is downtime. Why? Because containers stop. My desired state is 2 containers, but one container not running. Immediately, okay, whenever the container stops, immediately it will identify that container not running, desired state is 2, only one container running. Kubernetes will create one more container instead of that stopped container, and those remaining 100 requests will serve by that new container. In this case, there is no downtime for the end users because it is maintaining desired state. How many containers want to run? It will see continuously whether those containers running or not. If any one container down, immediately it will create one more container in which the end users can't see the downtime. That is known as high availability or no downtime. Because of desired state maintaining by the Kubernetes, there is no downtime. Everything there is, every time there is high availability of application running for the end users. That is no downtime. Will be happen because of maintaining desired state. This also will be done by Kubernetes. Can we done that manually? Yes, we can do, but it is time taken. Nowadays, there is no manual process. Everything in production, what are actions we are seeing is happening in real-time scenario with the help of an orchestration tool like Kubernetes. If the Kubernetes runs only, high availability happens without any downtime. Scaling will happen, deployment will happen, monitoring will happen. These things are required nowadays that will be provided by Kubernetes. These are also known as, these are all features of Kubernetes, we can say. Action has got features. And also this thing, I said already, scalability, high performance. Means whenever it required, it will scale up the application instances. Whenever it not required, scale down. Next, disaster recovery or restore backup. Means if any disaster happens, if any disaster happens, okay, in the infrastructure level, okay, what happens with Kubernetes, every time the complete point to point, it will take a backup. In Kubernetes, there is a backup concept. It will take a backup when there is disaster recovery in the infrastructure level. Okay, what happened? Kubernetes, using Kubernetes, we can restore that. Backup or restoring, already we know that. Like this, what are the actions I'm showing here? Majorly, these actions will be performed by Kubernetes tool known as orchestration of containers. That's why Kubernetes is known as container orchestration tool. The points what I said, these things only we are going to see in a Kubernetes concept. How to deploy automatically containers, how to scale that container, how to monitor, how to make high availability, how to maintain desired state. In the production environment, we are going to see in our classes, in Kubernetes classes. That is our subject. Understood, guys? In which, but to work with Kubernetes, some key concept you want to understand. What is the architecture? How many? What is things we have here? How to do? How to install? Everything we are going to see. But I'm introducing here what is the use of Kubernetes. In first class itself, you should understand what is the purpose of Kubernetes we are using for this purpose. It is very, very important. It is the requirement of present IT market. Automatically deployment should happen, automatic scaling should happen, high availability, there should not be downtime. These are all requirements currently we have in your IT. To resolve or to accept or to gain these requirements, one tool we are going to use, that is Kubernetes, most useful tool, Kubernetes. Like Kubernetes, different tools we have. Like Kubernetes, we have different tools like Docker Swarm and OpenShift, like this. There are different tools like Kubernetes, but major user thing is Kubernetes. I think it is most useful thing and more benefits we have. This type of benefits we have in Kubernetes. So mostly we are going to use Kubernetes. Like Kubernetes, different tools we have, orchestration tools. Not only Kubernetes we have, different orchestration tools we have, like Different orchestration tools we have like Kubernetes, Docker Swarm, OpenShift, like this, etc. etc. Different tools we have, but majorly we are going to use Kubernetes only. Different orchestration tools we have here, but majorly we are going to use Kubernetes only because it is more benefits we have from this. Okay, like this, Kubernetes are very useful in a production environment to maintain containerized application. To maintain containerized application. Okay, what is Kubernetes? Kubernetes is orchestration tool to maintain containerized application. Maintenance means all these things what I said. Maintaining the containers. We require for maintenance, so we require one orchestration tool that we are going to see Kubernetes. Maintaining the containers means the actions what I showed, maintaining the container. To perform this, when any tool perform these actions, that tool is known as orchestration tool. So now Kubernetes is an orchestration tool because it is going to maintain containers by performing the following actions. That is known as Kubernetes. Okay, how to achieve these goals, everything we'll see from next class onwards. Okay, that's all guys. We'll continue tomorrow about how to work with this Kubernetes.